Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and welcome back to some more Star Citizen. Now today we are taking a look at the Gladius. Now this is, everyone can fly at the moment, so it's definitely worth going and trying. So today what we're going to do is we're going to have a look on the exterior of the ship first of all, and look at some of these animations. And it's not really worth me making a video on landing, so we're going to go and land on a pad as well, and then we'll just do a little bit of flight at the end to finish off. So let's have a look on the outside to start with. Let's look at the forward animations. I actually prefer the thruster animations on this than I do. I don't know. I think they've just gone a bit wild on the freelancers at the moment. Sorry, not the freelancers. The Cutlass. If you go and have a look at the animations on that, the actual sort of the thrust is about 5 miles long. But you can see there that looks that's feasible. It looks, the animations look nice on that. There's no reason there to go any more than that. They've seemed to have gotten pretty much nailed that first time. So let's see if we can move around the front and have a good look round. I'm going to rotate this way as well. We're here. Okay, let's have a look. It does look like an absolutely fantastic ship, I must admit. Absolutely looks fantastic. One of the things I did notice actually, it's got them little flashing lights, you know, you have under a plane. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Hopefully you're about to turn these sort of lights off. I know you can turn, I'm sure you're about to turn the lights off, but the flashing ones actually look like, is it coming from, trying to work out where it's coming from. It's hard to see, isn't it? Definitely coming from there somewhere. Does look absolutely cool. And the detail in the rear engines looks fantastic. I'll leave a link in the description, and you can, if you want to go and have a look at my video when I look at it in the hangar in a little bit more detail, then feel free. Let's have a look at some of these weapon animations as well while we're here. It's actually quite a small ship, actually. If you compare it against well, I'll say me in the cockpit, compared to some of the other ships, particularly the Hornet. It's massive, the Hornet. Let's have a look at these. Yeah, they look pretty cool, don't they? So move down a bit further. Have a look from here. There we go. Let's try back there. Animations look good. Front ball turret as well. A funny thing underneath. Everyone keeps, it looks like a fuel pod thing. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what this thing is underneath. To be honest, this thing. If you know, let me know in the comments below, guys. It looks like. You know, it looks, I don't know, I don't want to say something stupid, it looks like a bloody missile, doesn't it? I think it's a fuel thing, because it does say on the back there, fuel access, so it's obviously some sort of like, you know, fuel container thing. It's just a bit odd that they've put the wing thing on it, do you know what I mean? It looks a bit odd. But yeah, all in all, fantastic ship, I must admit, I've enjoyed flying it. And also it's got the damage states on this ship as well, so, you know, obviously we can't really look at that now, but let's just go and have a look and see if we can actually land then. I'll take you for a bit of landing. Landing's quite simple, actually, and I think there's a reason for the way they've set it up, I think, because like some other games, like Elite Dangerous, what you normally do is you fly near a station, and once you're near the station, you request land, you know, docking, and it goes docking accepted. Now, that's fine, but if you've then got, let's say, for instance, 3 stations right next to each other, how does it know which one you're going to be docking at, if you know what I mean? So, what I mean? So you, all of a sudden, you know, you don't have that ability to actually target a station. I don't know, maybe in the latest patches, I haven't played it for a while, so maybe it's been updated now, but I mean, in this case, what you're doing is you're just basically looking towards a pad, and then, so it's, you know, it's quite easily done, really. You just look towards a pad. Now, to actually dock, you just look towards a pad. I press N on the keyboard. Now, I can't tell everyone what the key bindings are going to be, you know, depending on what control set you're using. And then once you've done that, I just set a mouse click. So now it's giving me, so basically what I've done, I've designated a pad. I've then approved my landing, and now you get this little sort of little radar thing. And the red line is basically, if I didn't mean to do that. The red line is basically telling you the direction you should be going. So, and I think it's pretty cool as well, because you might get confused, you know, I get quite confused quite easily. So at least you know which one you're going towards. So, and obviously now you can fly towards that. Now there is one other step now. I can fly towards that pad, and when I get close to, you know, let's say vertical of the center line where I'm happy, there's no particular landing zone, you know what I mean? If you just land anywhere on the pad, that's fine. And then once you get close, if you just press F, and then you can land. The only downside with that, when using keyboard and mouse, there's no real ability there to control the speed, because obviously a key strike is on or off. So there is a sort of an automatic landing mechanism, and I think it needs to be there, because you know, when you're going to be landing all the time, sometimes you're just going to want to land, aren't you? So, and to basically to activate that, you just press M again, right? Okay, so now I'm just going to fly towards the pad. Just be careful. I mean, the first few times, you might crash a few times, but you can go and practice it, and then just slow down a little bit, and then just let go. And just don't touch anything. And now it hovers here for a minute. I don't know if it's going to be like that, and then it goes down. Sometimes it goes down a lot faster, sometimes it doesn't. Now, there's a couple of options on taking off. I know we're looking at this ship, guys, but I thought, man, so there's no point in making a video on this. I might as well just show you now. Let's hop out. I'm not going to be doing any EVAing or anything. We're just going to, so, listen to this. I like it when you get out as well. It goes through this sort of procedure of, like, you know, deactivating shields and all this sort of stuff, you know, really cool. We'll have a quick look round it while we're here. We've had a look in the air. It looks, when it's in the air, I think the lights and reflection makes the ship look totally different. Oh, I haven't seen the weapons yet because they weren't in hangar last time. So have a good look at these. They look fantastic, guys, don't they? It almost looks real. They're pretty big, actually, aren't they? Oh, pretty large. Now the only we'll talk about the sort of some of the stats later, but it's sort of very similar to the Delta, this, isn't it? Apart from obviously them the missiles and stuff. So anyway, look, we're going to do the reverse thing now. Now, when taking off, you've got a couple of options. Obviously, you've got the same options that you've got when you're coming into landing. You know, I can press M, turn automatic, you know, landing off, and then manually take off, or here we go. So you can see it here on the screen. I'm just moving now. Look there. So now, because it's already activated now, all I need to do is press the center mouse button, and then away you go. Whoop. And it just basically float you in the air, and then just fly off. Away you go. Yeah, don't get me wrong. A couple of times when I did it the first time, just crashed. But once you've done it a couple of times, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm quite happy with it. It's not a sort of a traumatic thing to do. You know what I mean? You can quite easily do it, so it's not going to be too a pain in the arse because you don't want landing to be a really annoying, particularly if you're in the bigger ships as well. Because obviously it's going to be a lot harder landing in the bigger ships than it is actually landing in some of the obviously the smaller ones. So let's jump into some Vandal Swarm and give you a bit of a flight test, and we'll talk about some more of the little stats and stuff. So one sec, guys, we'll just jump over, hang on. Okay, let's take a look at some of the stats of the ship. Now, it's relatively good, actually. It's very, very similar to the Mustang Delta in its loadout and its sort of stats in some ways. They're very similar ships. But one of the things I did notice with this ship, before we sort of talk about the stats actually, is the sheer acceleration of the thing. It's absolutely fantastic. Okay, let's have a look at what we've got on the wings. On the wings we've got some CF-007 Bulldog laser repeaters on both sides. We've got some Spark missiles and some Ignite dumbfires as well. And then obviously on the front we've got a Scorpion GT-215 ballistic Gatling. Sounds like a graphics card, doesn't it? GT-215. One of the sort of things I found quite challenging with this ship, unlike the Mustang Delta, I really, really struggled to target on the fixed mount. Obviously the gimbal's fine, but there's only so much ammo you've got. Now I suppose what you probably need to do is keep into consideration when you're playing things like, you know, Vandal Swarm and the cooperative aspect of it, you're more than likely going to deplete all your ammo because you're going through waves and waves and waves. Once you're in the persistent universe, and if you're just going to be doing, let's say, for interception and escorting, then it's not such a major issue because you'll probably be using your guns and taking out a target rather than taking out, if you think about it, 30, 40 Vandal over the period of time. So the gimbal's good, yeah. Obviously, we've all tried the Gatling, but the fixed mounts, I'd struggle with them a little bit. And I think what actually sort of aids to that a little bit and makes it a little bit harder, because the acceleration's quite fierce, the ship can maneuver really, really fast. So you do tend to not necessarily black out, but you spend most of your time with a foggy mist, if you know what I mean. Because if you're either turning and pulling G's and slightly going unconscious, or you could even do it in a straight line. So most of the time the actual mist was there, but maybe there's going to be an update coming later on to maybe reduce that down a bit. It does seem a little bit too fierce. So if you're in the market for a light fighter or interceptor, or you want to do some dogfighting, definitely worth taking a look at this ship. And don't forget, at the moment, it's actually, I think it's still in. You can actually play at the moment. So if you've got Star Citizen and a package, if you log in, you'll notice that you're about to flight test this ship. Suggest you go and give it a go. It's always worth trying something before you buy it. That's what I say, because in that way you sort of know what you're getting. I know that is going to be a little bit difficult when if you would like to try the Mustang Delta, but like I said, you've got to grab these opportunities and give these ships a go. So at least if you actually start working to grind out towards a ship, at least you've got an idea that you're actually going to like it before you get there. It all makes sense, doesn't it? But all in all, fantastic ship. Expecting to see probably some adjustments to it over the next maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I'm sure there will be, because I'll be very surprised if we get a first iteration of a ship and that's it. One of the other things it has as well, which is a shame we can't really see, which is obviously the damage states. I suppose I could have actually zoomed out and maybe looked at it on the outside. So the damage states are there now, which is pretty cool. So the new damage states were basically procedural generated all over the ship, and it uses less memory as well. And also, you'll notice at the beginning of the game, when we load into Vandal Swarm, we all get that massive FPS drop. That's because obviously it's loaded in the ships. So once we move into these new models, hopefully that hit won't be as bad. Let's hope, fingers crossed. That's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video today. One other thing, guys, if you're looking to join a organisation inside of Star Citizen, got an organisation, we do exploration trading, but we've also got a sort of a security division as well. So if you want to do some dogfighting, you want some training or anything like that, pop over to the forums. I'll leave a link to the RSI site, so if you want to join, you just click through and then away you go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.